It has been a privilege to get to know President Zaragoza and to recognize him as the mentor he has become for so many of our students. With all of that being said, on behalf of the Associated Students of the College of Southern Nevada, I invite you to join me in welcoming Dr. Federico Zaragoza in his President's State of the College address.
Thank you, Yvette, for that wonderful introduction. And good morning, CSN family, Acting Chancellor Arteaga, regents, partners, colleagues, and guests. Welcome all to the College of Southern Nevada's Fall 2022 Convention. First, let me thank you for joining us in person. Isn't that just amazing for us to have this opportunity kind of to see one another? You know, some of us actually look better in person than virtually, and then some, not so much. But it is wonderful to have this opportunity to share a few thoughts with you. One, where are we in terms of accreditation? Then some of the challenges, our accomplishments, and more importantly, what's in store for the future for the College of Southern Nevada? So, you know, as we start this semester, we're starting the new academic year in the midst of a changing landscape that has seen community colleges across the country, indeed across the country, lose 20% of their students. Think about it, 20% of their students. To be clear, we're in the midst of a perfect storm. We face threatening clouds converging from three directions. We have to maneuver through an unprecedented challenge of declining enrollment. We anticipate acute budget cuts, and we're facing an uncertain climate of economic, social, and political environments. And while I acknowledge that these challenges are real, they are serious and indeed unprecedented, I want to assure you that the state of CSN is strong and that our future is bright. By the end of my remarks, I'm sure that you'll understand why I'm so optimistic about the College of Southern Nevada. In fact, let's start now by reviewing some of this year's highlights. Video, please. You know, this marks the 50th anniversary. I deeply appreciate the sacrifices that you have been making to keep moving us forward. And here we are, CSN strong and CSN ready to emerge from these difficult times stronger than ever.
Helping college students succeed during the pandemic is one of the main goals over at CSN.
This Connections event has been really helpful because it showed me a lot of departments that I didn't even realize were here at CSN, and I'm glad that it's here today to show me that it is here for me as a student, that I can use it.
50 years ago, the College of Southern Nevada started off as Clark County Community College. A time capsule was placed inside the wall of the building.
Tonight was an amazing evening. I think the community came together. It's a combination of our community, it's a combination of our leadership, our faculty, our staff, and we all made it happen.
It's the first schedule from 1971.
It's an honor for me to award on the behalf of the Foreign Ministry of Mexico the National Otley to our distinguished friend and ally, Dr. Zaragoza.
This award is very humbling for me because this is an award for the collective body of work that many of my colleagues have been involved in, many of whom are in this room, and I have been blessed actually to work with some of the best colleagues and in some of the best institutions during my career.
My favorite part about the program is that it gives us a really good opportunity to invest in our futures and ourselves.
I like that it's really hands-on and you actually get to physically work on the stuff you read about in the textbooks. In the program I'm in industrial maintenance, I like the program because it's teaching me new skills and skills I will have until I die, essentially.
I feel extremely honored to have the privilege to come to CSN because they gave me that stepping stool to become the first person in my family to go to college. So yeah, so especially coming from a Hispanic family with parents that immigrated from Mexico, I feel like I was carrying on a legacy that they never could. So that was really special.
Dr. Sims and his team from the College of Southern Nevada are pulling out what we're putting in.
It's important to look at what's going into the natural environment because what we do as people is going to affect the wider environment or the food web.
Sims says this grant-funded research shows the bigger picture.
CSN is kind of that place where the culture it's okay if you don't have it all figured out yet. Let's try to figure it out together. What was meaningful for me it's tons of things. I mean, the list could go on. If you want to build relationships, if you want to get some resources, if you want to build character, if you want to build confidence, if you're shy and maybe you really do want to get involved but you're too shy to, somebody will pull you in.
A referee shortage has hit critical levels in Las Vegas, and now Valley leaders are taking notice.
We need umpires, referees, and people who are going to help us make sure that we keep everything legitimate and good calls.
I just wanted to say thank you to my CSN family for believing in me, for inspiring me, and for understanding me.
Coming back to CSN has helped me manage my time a bit better, as well as being a little bit more self-disciplined. And I really like being in the classrooms as well. It's an awesome campus, and we have a huge diversity. I myself am the first generation in my family to be able to attend college, and being able to see that we're so advocated for as a Hispanic and Latino community is even more welcoming to me.
You're still in school now at College of Southern Nevada studying film with a theater minor. I mean, not only in that moment, I think I was crying because I just realized I was able to now pay for the college degree I never had a means of paying for. But I would have to say, looking back on my year, and I don't think that I would look back on this year and regret anything.
I love the diversity here, especially the International Center and Multicultural Center over at the Student Union. I've met people all across the globe, from South Africa, Mexico, Thailand, every single continent. Diversity is important because in my career in law enforcement, I want to be able to communicate all across different cultures.
Out of all the other colleges in the Nevada system of higher education, I chose CSN because College of Southern Nevada empowers their students and communities to achieve, succeed, and prosper. And that's really reflected here through different services. We provide a heap of resources for the students, such as the Coyote Cupboard, where students can come in and get free food, the Coyote Closet, where students can come in and get free clothes for a job interview. The faculty here really care about their students, and I want to be associated with a school like that.
If I can do it, a single mother who's a delivery driver and a student, anyone can do it. CSN has helped me along the way by helping me figure out why I am here.
Let us use our degrees to strengthen our bodies, our families, our communities, our city, and our beloved, wonderful country that we live in. Remember that while you are on your journey of success. And I'll see you on the way, because we're going to achieve a lot greater things.
Yeah, Zachary just hit it right on the spot. So before I continue with my remarks, I want to express my heartfelt appreciations to Gia. She is the first mistress of ceremony at a CSN Convocation event. Also, thank Yvette for being a member of the CSN cabinet. And she is the only student government representative that actually sits on the president's cabinet. You two are truly amazing. You epitomize our student-first agenda at CSN. So please give Yvette and Gia a nice round of applause. Let me also extend our appreciation to Acting Chancellor Del Orquiaga for his leadership and inspirational words. And thank you, Acting Chancellor Orquiaga, for guiding us through these difficult times, but also for giving us that guidance and that North Star by which we're going to get there. And you're right, it's all about making the moment count. I also want to recognize Board of Regents Vice Chair Amy Carvalho, and Regent Donald Savanti Michael Sr. Thank you each for your participation, but for your relentless support of higher education in the state of Nevada. Thank you for being CSN Strong, CSN Friends. Let me also give a shout out to my executive leadership team for their leadership and behind the scenes work. I'm going to ask them to please stand and thank you for your commitment. So my executive leadership team, please stand. I know where you are. I also want to recognize our CSN stakeholder leaders. You've already heard from some of them. Yvette Machado is our CSN Student Government President. Our Faculty Senate Chair is Tracy Sherman. Our Classified Council President is Daniel Clark. Megan Ezekiel is the Chairperson of the Administrative Faculty Alliance. And Ted Shattuck is the CSN NFA Chapter President. Thank you all for the contributions and amazing work that you do in support of students and through our collective journey to performance excellence and shared governance. Also, I want to thank two very important community partners. They are Terry Sherry, the chairman of the CSN Foundation Board, and Remy Robinson, chair of the CSN Institutional Advisory Council. And also with us today here is Jose Solario, somewhere in the audience. Thank you all for being here. So I mentioned that I'm optimistic about our future. So let me tell you why. To tell you the truth, it starts with you. I want you to know that working in community colleges and higher education is not easy, especially in these difficult times. However, most of you are here because you have chosen a path in life that requires a commitment to public service. And you do it because you care deeply about our students and our diverse communities. That's why I admire and respect each and every person in this room, and why it is the great pride and honor of my life to serve as your president. I believe that at CSN, we're inspired by our mission. We believe in our students' ability to achieve. We believe that our work empowers and changes lives, and we cherish how our students evolve and prosper. Not just economically, but as caring and productive persons. So if you take one thing away from this convocation, let it be that the work you do in educating and serving our students and our diverse communities has never been more important. It is valued, and it is essential to the economic and social aspirations of Southern Nevada. You know, on September 10th, we will be at the Las Vegas Convention Center celebrating our 50th anniversary. And all of us should be there to celebrate the legacy of those 5 faculty members, those CSN pioneers who 50 years ago overcame lack of funding, lack of facilities, and lack of students to establish the Clark County Community College, later renamed the College of Southern Nevada. And Barbara Agonia was one of those original faculty members. And as some of you will remember, she gave our spring commencement address. In her address, she made it a point to affirm that those 5 original faculty members who worked at CSN were attracted to CSN because they understood the power of education to create access and opportunity for those in the community with limited or no access to higher education. Even back then, it was not easy to work at CSN. But as Barbara reminded us, it was very rewarding work. And that's what mattered to them. That, my friends, is our legacy. That's our DNA. And that's what matters to us as well. That's who we are. People at CSN are here to change lives. I am saddened to inform you that Barbara passed away last month, but not before she told the CSN story to an absolute, to the rafters, maximum capacity audience of almost 20,000 persons, including 1,800 graduates that attended our spring 2022 commencement at the Thomas Mack Center. If you missed our spring commencement, you missed a magical evening. So I hope that you don't miss our 50th celebration on September 10th. Trust me, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience and a tribute to the work you do, to the CSN family over 5 decades of service. So be there or be square. So let me give you some more reasons why I'm so optimistic about our future. As some of you may remember, in my first Convocation address 4 years ago, I challenged us to put students first, to affirm our purpose as a college where students achieved and succeeded at the highest level. I asked that we aspire for CSN to be amongst the best community colleges in terms of student success and performance excellence in the country. And that college, my friends, is fast approaching reality. In fact, I'm looking forward to providing evidence of our journey towards performance excellence to the Northwest Commission during our upcoming evaluation, and you've just kind of heard what to expect. But I'm pleased to report that we will be able to provide evidence to the Commission that after 5 years without an approved strategic plan, the Board of Regents approved our new CSN plan on March 6, 2020. That strategic plan contains a powerful mission, vision, values, and those measures that the Commission is going to be looking at. And we will be able to document to the Northwest Commission that CSN indeed is one of the most improved community colleges of our size in the country in terms of student success and performance excellence. So listen to some of these indicators. We have more than doubled our 3-year graduation rates over the accreditation cycle. Our graduation rates improved from 7% in 2016 to 18% for the cohort that just completed their studies in 2021, and that will be posted as official data in 2024. But more importantly, our aspirant rate that talks about student success, because students come to CSN not only to graduate, they come to transfer. And guess what? Our aspirant rate shows that 40% of our students either graduate or transfer within a 3-year period. You have much to be proud of. Our lead performance indicators document that CSN is amongst the most improved community college of our size in the country, and one of the reasons why we were selected as an Achieving Dream College of Distinction. Not everyone can get that designation. My friends, accreditation reviews focus on evidence, the facts. And this is especially critical in terms of your mission indicators. So what will we be reporting? Well, last year, in spite of COVID, we awarded 4,800 degrees and certificates, outperforming our peers, including Cuyahoga, Montgomery, and Portland Community College. That means that CSN produced more graduates than any of our peers, and they were positioned to overtake our aspirational peer, Austin Community, in the next few years. That, my friends, is impressive. That, my friend, is evidence. And as we deeper into the data, important work is occurring at CSN. We note that our world-class faculty is producing impressive academic outcomes. For example, we're seeing incredible gains in Gateway Math and English. And as you all know, that's the segue to success. In the Closing the Achieving efforts that we're involved in, we have seen completion rate increase from 7 to 16% amongst African American students, from 15 to 26% for Hispanic students, and from 23 to 39% for students receiving Pell. And it gets better. Our bridge programs produce almost 80% completion rates, and we did that for a cohort of promised students in math and English. We also use summer bridge programming for the first generation cohort of TRIO students. Students that completed summer bridge programs achieved course completion rates of 90%, graduation rates of 41%, and retention rates of 96%. These achievement rates prove the value of the summer bridge program, and we're seeking ways to scale it to all students. And overall, our retention rates among full-time students averaged 85% for the fall to spring and 66% for the fall to fall semester. No question about it, Some of CSN student success outcomes compare favorably with some of the best colleges of our size in the country and directly address the Northwest Commission standards. Our documented outcomes also map directly to the entry goals and to our institutional strategic plan. You all should know that our collective work in the college and in the community college space nationally is not going unnoticed. So we must not for one moment be apologetic in our claim that we are on course to becoming one of the country's best college of our size in terms of fostering student success, performance excellence, and shared governance. The evidence speaks for itself. In fact, earlier in the year, the Northwest Commission, this very same group that's going to be evaluating us, the same group that is going to be conducting the on-site evaluation, the Northwest Commission awarded one of their top awards, the Beacon Award for Student Success for large higher institutions, to CSN. My friends, yeah, that deserves a round of applause. My friends, that is one of the Commission's most prestigious awards. And I've got to acknowledge Dr. Shelley Keller for embedding tutoring into many of our virtual courses and for documenting the impact that the Center of Academic Success is having on our students. Well done, Cherry. Well done, team. You know, the work that we do at CSN in the area of performance excellence and workforce development is of national consequence, as evidenced by our designation and reaffirmation as an Achieving the Dream College of Distinction and the Lumina Foundation reaffirmation of CSN as a national talent hub and a complete College American National Momentum Pathways College. So be confident that we are ready and that we are well positioned to tell our performance excellence story of continuous improvement to the Northwest Accreditation team. Now, let's review a few of the many CSN performance highlights from just last year. CSN students excelled as scholars and athletes. We produced the top Achieve the Dreamer scholar in the country in Adrian Bell. Our CSN athletes achieved a 3.0 GPA average, including our women's basketball team that achieved a 4.0 GPA in average. And by the way, our cross-country and baseball teams were nationally ranked. And if I could, I'd like to congratulate our men's soccer team, who this past Friday beat Arizona Western, the #2 ranked team in the country. Go Coyotes! You know, after a 5-year journey, we've completed our migration to a multi-campus structure. And it's a campus-based initiative that better addresses student and community engagement and that is already showing great promise. We also started to deliver classes at our $70 million state-of-the-art Betty Engelstedt Health and Science building at our Henderson campus. Now think about it. We also received confirmation by the city of Las Vegas for the construction of a new CSN Westside Education Training Center, and that'll be located in Ward 5. And it will also allow us to expand educational and training opportunities to one of the most underserved areas of the city. Continuing with this progression, we also broke ground on the construction of a $25 million CSN City of Henderson Advanced Manufacturing Center of Excellence that will position CSN to produce the next generation of highly skilled and advanced manufacturing technicians in such areas as robotics, CNC, operations, mechanics, mechatronics, and industrial automation. These are the jobs of the future, my friends. Our faculty and academic departments achieved many distinctions. And I want to pause for a minute. Oftentimes, when we have convocations, we tend to skip over and just recognize our fabulous faculty. But this year, I'm going to take a little time and reflect on the kind of work that our faculty is doing day in and day out. and also the kind of production that we had in just 1 year. So here we go. The Computer Information Technologies Department established its first ever degree, the Associate of Arts in Computer Science. Yeah. The Transportation Technology faculty established the first motorsport technology program in Nevada. Our nursing program faculty completed an accelerated course of study in the associate degree in nursing. This will accelerate the number of nurses that we're able to produce to meet critical labor shortages. Our CSN medical assistant faculty designed an accelerated course of study that will allow students to complete their program of studies in 2 semesters or less. The CSNU Bachelor's of Applied Science Culinary Lab at our North Las Vegas campus, just check it out, will now allow us to deliver upper division courses in our Bachelor's of Applied Science program. Yeah, so here's a little teaser. Be on the lookout. The CSN Culinary Arts will be featured on a national television program by none other than Montel Williams. We're getting famous, right? And again, congratulations to our Bachelor's of Applied Science program in Environmental Management. They attained a 100% placement rate. That means that 100% of our graduates had a job before they walked the stage. And if you're seeing a trend, think about this. The Board of Regents unanimously approved 2 new Bachelor's of Applied Science programs for CSN, Environmental Conservation and Environmental Laboratory Sciences. Congratulations, faculty. And kudos to the CSN Math and English faculty for adding more core-requisite math and English courses that will allow us to serve as many as 11,000 CSN students. Think about it. You know, we're adding courses at a time where we've got all these challenges, but we're always aligning our courses to student needs. And you heard the CSN Mariachi Plata, right? So under the direction of Robert Bonora, they were crowned national champions of collegiate mariachi. CSN was the first mariachi national champion not to be from Texas. I hope you can appreciate my delight in reminding my Texas friends of our achievement. Thank you, Mariachi Plata, for granting me the bragging rights. And here's another teaser. CSN is ready to launch its gospel choir later this year. Yeah. We really value diversity at the College of Southern Nevada, and thank you, faculty, for taking the lead in expressing that diversity in every phase of our existence. Our faculty from the Department of Health is working with the Department of Human Services to customize a new certificate for developmental sports technician. The CSN educational faculty just launched a new skills certificate to produce highly qualified substitute teachers to help address the state's critical teacher shortage. And the Office of E-Learning is working with internal stakeholders to create a totally online comprehensive college. Isn't that amazing? That's kind of work that you see from our faculty. But it's not just the faculty that's working. We also have some of our administrators and leaders doing some important work. And this year we're implementing our new CRM. It's a holistic system to better support our strategic enrollment management and guided pathways. Yeah. CSN and the Nevada Gold Mines launched a new CTE Academy in diesel technology and industrial maintenance for Rancho High School students. This program is entering its 2nd year. And check this out. Nevada Gold Mine has guaranteed a job for every graduate with a starting salary of $70,000 right out of high school. We're changing lives at CSN. And this has been a breakout year for CSN in the international education space. We received grants that allowed CSN students and faculty to travel to the rainforest of Costa Rica. And we also have grants that will provide $2,500 stipends and support in terms of travel expenses to support CSN faculty-led study abroad projects, and a stipend of $1,000 that will be available to CSN faculty willing to teach virtual study abroad courses. So yeah, CSN is going global. Let me conclude my highlights with a story that is close to my heart. This year, 3 students who began their CSN educational journey while still in prison graduated with a degree from CSN, including Keisha Westbrook, who was selected to deliver the student spring commencement speech. Today, 2 of these students are continuing their education in pursuit of a bachelor's degree, and the 3rd is now employed as a manager in their field of study. We're proud of these students that they have overcome great obstacles in pursuit of their higher education goals. But my friends, this is what I mean when I say CSN is a beacon of hope for so many in our community, and we change lives. I could easily go on and on with the many other examples of the type of work that our CSN family has been engaged with over the past year. These are truly impressive outcomes. So shame on us if we take them for granted. So please join me in giving our CSN family involved in these projects a round of applause. Now let me rephrase that. Hope you agree that this group deserves a standing ovation. Let's do that for them. Yes. Thank you, CSN faculty. Thank you, CSN staff. You can be seated. You know, this is the first time that you've actually done what I've asked you to do. Thank you. Yeah. You know, we're truly blessed to have so much to celebrate at CSN. But now the other side of the coin. Unfortunately, we will continue to see COVID-related fallout into the foreseeable future. And the elephant in the room is declining enrollment. Declining enrollment has the potential to threaten the long-term economic sustainability of CSN. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, the National Student Clearinghouse documented that community college FTE enrollment was down 20.1% during the past 2 years. And in spite of our best efforts, CSN FTE enrollment was down 16.7% during this same period. To be clear, the #1 threat to the College of Nevada is declining enrollment, because much of our funding is generated by caseload reimbursement and student tuition and fees. So it's a triple whammy. And while it's early in the FY 23-25 budget development process, we could face up to a $43 million budget shortfall. Now, I'm not saying that addressing budget cuts is going to be easy, but this is not unprecedented. We have overcome similar budget scenarios in the past. Let me remind you that we have a proven CSN budget reduction and shared governance process that provides all CSN stakeholders a seat at the table. This allowed us to create college-wide budget-saving solutions, which is exactly how we were able to absorb $25 million in budget cuts without layoffs during the past budget cycle. So let me address directly the fears that we might be facing layoffs and furloughs this academic year. Let me assure you that no such actions are being planned, because none of the projected budget cuts take effect this year. This is a bridge year for us to focus on solutions. If the truth be known, we saw the challenges coming early in the pandemic. And let me remind you that we're already in the midst of 5 performance imperatives designed to promote student success, reverse enrollment trends, and promote cost savings. So imperative #1 is achievement. Our mission focused on student achievement and closing the gaps. Imperative number 2 is our guided pathways, which calls for us to stay the course on implemented guided pathway best practices. Imperative number 3 is our strategic enrollment team, an all-college effort co-chaired by Dr. James McCoy, Dr. Sonia Pearson, and Juanita Crisanto. They're working together and collaboratively to improve our student engagement procedures and to facilitate enrollment, retention, and completion rates. This focus has allowed us to greatly improve the onboarding and registration process at CSN. The good news is that this fall, we project flattening or reversing the declining enrollment trend. And we attribute the reversal to the work of the SEM committee and our multi-campus advising structure. Imperative number 4 is diversity, equity, and inclusion. This, my friends, is foundational and essential institutional work under the leadership of Dr. Lawrence Weekly, Chief of Staff and Diversity Officer. We continue to stay the path to implement the Saltgrass diversity and inclusion recommendations. And I accept the Saltgrass findings that trust is an issue for many at CSN, and that we continue to see an unacceptable gap between mission and reality. And here again, we will be unapologetic in our effort to be transparent about the need to continue to close achievement gaps for our students of color. We will continue to mandate diversity, equity, inclusion training for executives and increase DEI professional development opportunities across the college. We will continue to support our faculty and staff diversity committee work and their recommendations. And we will continue to work tirelessly to hire a CSN workforce that looks like the students that we serve. I hope you agree that we can and we must do better in diversity, equity, and inclusion. My friends, Imperative 5 is our COVID response. And in terms of COVID considerations, I believe CSN has proven protocols in place to keep our students, faculty, and staff safe and healthy. And given the current environment, CSN, like our sister NC institution, is preparing for a new normal of full campus engagement. For the record, already over 60% of our courses and all of our student academic and support services are scheduled for on-campus delivery. My friends, I believe that when bad things happen, you have two choices. You can either let it define you, you can let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. At CSN, we choose the latter. CSN was created for times like this. And we will only get stronger and better because our collective strength and resilience comes from our mission and the intimate relationships that we have developed with our students, our businesses, and the communities to serve. My friends, I know that we are indeed facing difficult times, but I can assure you that if we embrace these challenges as opportunities, if we continue to develop bold solutions, and if we stay true and are guided by our mission and principles of performance excellence, shared governance, and student success, there is no threat that we cannot overcome. Know that the way forward is to stay the course on our 5 imperatives. And yes, I remain optimistic about our future because I know that at CSN we will not be defined by our problems. We will be defined by the solutions that we are developing today. So in closing, let me leave you with a final piece of wisdom from none other than Albert Einstein, which I think are very appropriate for today's environment. And that is, if you can, stay away from negative people because they have a problem for every solution. Thank you, God bless you, and have an amazing semester. Love you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zaragoza, for that great message. I feel hopeful as a student, and I know that our faculty and staff have received an inspirational call to action to continue our great legacy into the next 50 years.